Let me now turn to John Affeldt, who is with Public Advocates. In addition to being their managing attorney, John is also directs their education program, and many of you are probably familiar with Public Advocates in its 37-year history here in California. So, John.
Thank you, Michael. Is this on? And thank you to the campaign for high school equity for having me here today. I've been asked to speak a little bit about what is going on in California around the state, particularly at the grassroots level, and how well that aligns with the campaign's recommendations. And as you'll see, I think that there's actually a great deal of alignment. I think this is a very timely campaign. It's an important campaign. The No Child Left Behind reauthorization will be happening in the next year or two. And this is exactly the right moment to inject these important issues about making sure that all students are prepared for college and work when they graduate at the federal level. At the state level, increasingly, parents, students, community groups around the state have come to the same realization and have the same goal, that a high school diploma is no longer enough to be successful in our modern economy, that it's critical to have some sort of post-secondary training, either in the trades, at community college, or higher education, to have a meaningful career. Just some of the groups that I know are working on this issue include PICO, California. PICO is a grassroots organizing group with 27 different chapters around the state, faith-based organizers, and they represent some 400,000 families in California, and many of their chapters, one of their primary goals is working on the dropout rate and the graduation crisis. Similarly, California Acorn, which has 25,000 families in the state, many of their chapters around the state are working on the same issue. My colleagues at the ACLU in Northern California are approaching this from a somewhat different angle, and particularly the sort of the school redesign recommendation in the white paper is sort of where the ACLU is looking at this in terms of what they call the push-out rate, and issues around discipline and why there are schools that are not accommodating to African American or Latino youth in particular, and why these students disproportionately end up being disciplined and ultimately dropping out. So they're sort of doing a lot of good work on that. As Michael mentioned, I think the Public Advocates is one of the founding members of a coalition called the Campaign for Quality Education. And Carmen Iniguez, who was going to speak here, is a community organizer from California's Justice. CFJ is also one of the founding members. And the CQE is made up of dozens of grassroots policy groups and researchers from around California, and is dedicated to fighting for a quality education for all Californians. And the CQE is what I probably most am going to talk about. The campaign has just launched a 3-year campaign that's called the 100% Prepared campaign. And the goal of the 100% Prepared campaign aligns quite well with the campaign for high school equity. The goal is to make sure that every kid graduates, every kid, 100%, graduates ready for our higher ed or for meaningful work, depending on which track they choose. And not just that, it recognizes that each student, just focusing on high school, in our view, is not enough, but you need to make sure that the students going into high school are 100% prepared to be able to take advantage of a college-going curriculum once they get to high school, and that the kids going into middle school are 100% prepared to take advantage of the important preparatory work that goes on in middle school. So what are the key sort of components of the campaign? The four, really: curriculum, data and accountability, teacher quality, and funding. And I see all of those four goals reflected in the recommendations of the campaign for high school equity.